A large number of people in China have lost their jobs, including many white-collar workers, and college graduates have also joined the army of job seekers. As a result, the software boss for job hunting has crashed due to the influx of job seekers. I was looking for a job this morning. I was supposed to do testing, software testing. When I refreshed the screen, it pushed all these useless things to me, like $62 a day pay. I refreshed the screen again and it crashed. I refreshed it again and it filtered the driving skills. What? I don't want to be a delivery guy. B&B hotel, receptionist, data entry specialist, data entry. What's this? Fix the air conditioner? It is a very frustrating morning. You couldn't find a job and then the system crashed. The software doesn't work well either. It disappears after only a few tries. I really can't imagine it. It's so difficult to find a job this year. March 15th has just passed a few days. How many people lost their jobs? How many people are online at the same time? Even the server of Boss Direct Hire crashed. Of course, I also believe this may have a lot to do with the technical problems of Boss Direct Hire. But it's undeniable that this year more than 10 million college graduates will once again enter the job market. It's conceivable that the employment pressure this year is very high. Boss Direct Hire crashed. Some people said it was because there were too many people looking for jobs, causing the server to crash. Some people also asked DeepSeek for analysis. Let's put it this way, there are only two reasons a recruitment website crashes. Either the technology is not good enough and code is written in a mess, or the number of job seekers visiting is too large and the servers can't handle it. The servers of these large manufacturers are all elastically scalable unless the traffic instantly exceeds the estimated number and rushes in simultaneously. This situation is very special. How much traffic is needed to crash the server? It is most likely a technical bug. There is no final judgment on why Boss Direct recruitment system crashed. But there is no doubt that 2025 is indeed a year of economic downturn. Many industries in China are suffering. The business owners who were once prosperous have suffered heavy losses. People's wages have been reduced again and again. The hourly wage in factories has dropped to a shocking level. Let me repeat that again, $1.24 an hour. The wages are very low now. There is no choice, there is no hope. How low? Very low, really low. Is it okay to do it for 97 cents or $1.10 per hour? Yes. It's over. State-owned enterprises in Taiyuan City can't afford to pay salaries. Everyone says that employees in private companies have a hard time, but now even state-owned enterprises can't hold on. I watched a video today and saw that even coking coal in Shanxi province has started to cut salaries on a large scale. I can't even imagine it. This is the pillar industry of our Shanxi province. Because of my work, I have handled public financial loans for many clients who work in large state-owned enterprises such as China Coal Group, Taiyuan Iron, and Daxing Railway. I am very aware of their welfare income. I used to be very envious of them. They had a stable salary of several $100s to more than $1,300 every month, which was guaranteed to be profitable regardless of the economic up or down. In Taiyuan, it was already the ceiling of wages. I don't expect such a large state-owned enterprise to start cutting salaries. No wonder people say that Shanxi was rich for 4,900 years, but the poorest 100 years happened to us. The rate for skilled workers has been reduced from $50 to $36 a day, and the rate for unskilled workers has been reduced from $36 to $22 a day. Cash is required, no credit. Brothers, let me show you how glorious I used to be. In 2022, I still had assets of more than $500,000. At that time, I also had 11 restaurants, a villa in Yulin, Guangxi province, 3 condos, and 2 cars worth more than $300,000. As a result, starting in 2023, the so-called retaliatory consumption did not come, but retaliatory reality hit me. When everyone was saying that the restaurant industry was difficult, I blindly invested and continued to expand. It was this decision that led to my total loss. Today, I have mortgaged my properties again and again, and even if I sell them, it's still not enough to pay off my debts. In the end, I also sold my car to pay my employees' salaries when the store was closed. Now, I have lost everything, and I am over 2.9 million in debt. Those who cannot find a job are even more heartbroken. It seems I can't find a job. It's so difficult. It's really difficult to find a job now. I can hardly get an interview appointment. It's so hard, and sometimes I wonder, am I destined to be eliminated at the age of 28? I'm from Anhui Province, and I'm studying at Anhui University of Foreign Studies, a private undergraduate school. I'm a fresh graduate this year, and now I'm going to apply for a job. The company offers a salary of $414 to $483 per month. When hearing such a salary level, maybe even migrant workers don't take a look. But the truth is, now we put on our backpacks and rush to do it. I studied in college for a few years. Before I started looking for a job and encountered any setbacks, I felt like I was a lucky girl, a dark horse. But now that I have entered society and seen many realities, I found that I am not even a mouse, let alone a dark horse. Oh my God, I am convinced. Have we, the post-2000s generation, carried some grave sin? I searched for a job for a long time and ended up as a waiter. I have a friend who is in Hangzhou. We had an interview for a position like that, doing promotions on the Little Red Book's social media. After he went there, the boss told my friend $69 a month. How dare he say such a number? 1 day off per week, $69 a month. I used to work in a convenience store. The person I worked with was a computer major. He was a bit miserable. He also worked in a convenience store and didn't find a professional job either. In the store where I work now, a young man graduated from a top university in Shanghai with a degree in journalism. He hasn't found a job either and works as an attendant in the store like me. What future options are there for college students? Today, I was chatting with a senior schoolmate with whom I have a very good relationship. She is preparing for the postgraduate entrance examination. She memorized Q&A every day. She takes the law exam and has a master's degree in law. She memorized those stuff every day and cut off all communication with the outside world at that time. We all witnessed how hard she tried, but she just failed the exam. Then I suddenly thought of myself, I won't be able to take the postgraduate entrance examination and I won't be able to pass the civil service examination. I'm a junior now and it will be difficult for me to go abroad. I asked my mother today and I said, Mom, what should I do? My mother said, it's okay, child, but I really can't do it. If my parents were to support me all the time, I am definitely not willing to accept it. Oh my God, why is it so difficult for college students to find jobs nowadays? The CCP has found ways to cover up the real employment rate. A report released by China's online recruitment platform Zhaopin.com shows that in 2024, the employment rate of Chinese college graduates is 55.5%. But of course, there is a lot of artificial increase in it. On March 10, 2025, Radio Free Asia reported that Chinese universities were even falsifying the employment rates of their graduates in order to cope with employment pressure. According to official announcements from the Chinese Communist Party, the employment rate for the class of 2023 is 55.7%. But internal documents show that even in Shanghai, China's economic center, the actual employment rate for fresh graduates is less than 30%. Ding Shui Liang, professor emeritus of the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, wrote in Hong Kong Economic Journal that according to estimates by several experienced observers, the actual employment rate of Chinese university graduates in 2024 is around 30 to 35%, no higher than 40%, and certainly not as high as the official data of 56%. If the average employment rate of college graduates is 30%, then the total number of unemployed people should be 28.055 million. Recently, Professor Ding communicated with some teachers from universities in mainland China, and they said that the worst rate of some universities is only about 20%. The following teacher's revelation is even more shocking. Do you know how high the employment rate of college students is now? I have a friend who is a university teacher. A few days ago, he told me he was under a lot of pressure because the school had started, and the new principal required them to raise the employment rate to over 50% within a few months. I asked, how much are you now? He said our current employment rate is less than 6%. Brothers, a 6% employment rate for fresh graduates, do you dare to imagine it? Ordinary people without academic qualifications are facing an even more cruel life. Look, Shanghai is filled with the sadness of the lower-class people. An agency said that the job market of factories in Jiangsu Province, Zhejiang Province, and Shanghai are generally saturated.
最近这段时间，
Recently, many factories in Jiangsu, Zhejiang, and Shanghai have stopped recruiting and are basically in a saturation state. The remaining ones still recruiting are all the kinds of companies I usually wouldn't be willing to hire for them. You can guess what kind of companies they are. However, nearly 90% of these companies restrict male workers and only accept female workers for interviews. Those factories that would interview male workers are the ones you guys look down on. So, if you are a male worker without skills or special abilities, you'd better not go out. Many brothers came here excitedly, but after a period of struggle, they bought tickets and went back to their hometown in frustration.
不要到这边来找工厂的活了。
I just found a security job a few days ago requiring the night shift. I didn't do the night shift originally, but there was no other way. I really can't survive if I don't go to work. Then I just do this job. The night shift means that I patrol in the patrol car. However, I fell asleep at night and the patrol car was missing. They said it was lost and they used this excuse to fire me. It's really hard to find a job as a nanny nowadays. There are too many people and too little work. The householders have the right to choose a better nanny. Their requirements are like these: must be good looking, smart, clean, have high EQ, and be efficient at work. If you have low EQ, can't understand Shanghainese, can't read, or are old, then don't come. When you come here, you will know the high cost and the money of a few dozen dollars, $100, or $300, that is really nothing. I know you can't get money in the countryside, but still don't seek opportunity in Shanghai. Nowadays, many Chinese people cannot find jobs and feel the hardship of life. In fact, many people feel the pressure is worse than it was 20 years ago. What is the biggest difference between today's unemployment and the wave of layoffs in the 1990s? It's actually debt. In the 1990s, when people were laid off, no matter how difficult the family situation was, as long as people are willing to endure hardships and work, they can always find a way to get through it. After all, as long as there is work to do, you won't starve. You can always make a living by setting up a street stall, selling snacks, or doing hard labor at a construction site. But if the same massive unemployment happens today, especially in those highly leveraged cities, the situation would be much, much more serious. Nowadays, many people are burdened with mortgages, car loans, and various credit loans. Once they lose their jobs and income, their debts will not disappear. The monthly repayment pressure will be like a boulder, making it hard for them to breathe. If you lose your job, you may not only go hungry, but also face serious consequences, such as having your house or car taken away and losing credit because you cannot repay your loan. It feels like the sky is falling, right? Under the rule of the Chinese Communist Party, although the authorities are still singing the so-called economic bright spot theory, people are increasingly finding that they are under increasing economic and mental pressure. After 3 years of strict lockdown due to the epidemic, the Chinese are horrified to find that economic retaliatory consumption does not come, but instead the economy continues to deteriorate. The rich are fleeing from this country. Among those who go abroad, there are many direct relatives of CCP officials, and they have taken away a lot of money, and this wealth is the hard-earned money from China's cheap labor. Those Chinese who are unable to immigrate then only struggle and cannot even get basic social care from the government. Job search software like Boss Direct Hire has experienced a system crash because too many people are looking for jobs online at the same time. Perhaps this is indicative of the Chinese communist regime. That's all for today. If you enjoy our content, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.